Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Echoes of the Reality, the channel where we dive deep into the world's mysteries, histories, and untold stories. Today, we're peeling back the layers of history to uncover the top 14 facts about Valentine's Day. You may think you know Valentine's Day as the celebration of love, romance, and heart-shaped chocolates, but trust me, there's so much more hidden beneath the surface. This isn't just about greeting cards and roses. The history of Valentine's Day is filled with ancient traditions, forbidden love, secret messages, and even a touch of darkness. So, grab a seat, make yourself comfortable, and let's take a journey through time as we uncover the truth behind Valentine's Day. And before we begin, if you love content like this, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of the Reality so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get started. Fact 1. The dark origins of Valentine's Day. Our modern celebration of love actually has its roots in something far from romantic. In fact, Valentine's Day may have evolved from the Lupercalia, an ancient Roman festival held on February 15. This wasn't a festival of roses and chocolates. It was a wild, sometimes brutal event dedicated to purification and fertility. During Lupercalia, Roman priests known as Luperci would sacrifice goats and dogs, smear the blood on their foreheads, and then use the animal hides to whip women who lined up, believing the ritual would make them fertile. Yep, you heard that right, whipping for fertility. The event was a chaotic mix of purification, matchmaking, and celebrations, with young men randomly drawing women's names in a sort of love lottery. Some of these pairings even resulted in marriage. The festival was so deeply ingrained in Roman society that it continued for centuries, even after Christianity began spreading across the empire. It wasn't until the late 5th century that Pope Gelasius I officially banned Lupercalia and, instead, declared February 14 as St. Valentine's Day. But who exactly was St. Valentine? That's where the mystery deepens. Fact 2. The mystery of St. Valentine. Believe it or not, there wasn't just one Valentine. There were multiple. The Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, and all of them were martyred. But which one is responsible for the holiday we celebrate today? Historians aren't entirely sure, but one of the strongest theories points to a priest who lived during the rule of Emperor Claudius II in the 3rd century. Claudius had a big problem. He believed that unmarried men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. So, he banned young men from getting married. But Valentine, a Christian priest, defied the emperor's orders and continued to perform secret marriages for young lovers. When his actions were discovered, he was arrested and eventually executed on February 14, around the year 269 AD. Another legend suggests that while in prison, Valentine fell in love with the jailer's daughter and sent her a note signed, "From your Valentine," a phrase that still endures today. Whether or not this story is true, Valentine became a symbol of love and sacrifice, and he was later canonized as a saint. But his connection to romance only grew stronger as the centuries passed. Fact 3. The first connection between Valentine's Day and romance. For centuries, St. Valentine's Day was more about martyrdom than romance. But that changed in the Middle Ages, thanks to poets like Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer, often called the father of English literature, wrote a poem in 1382 titled Parliament of Fowls, in which he linked February 14 with love and courtship. The poem spoke of birds choosing their mates on this day, and from that moment on, Valentine's Day became associated with romantic love. During the same period, medieval knights and noblemen began writing love letters and poems to their beloveds, following a code of courtly love. The idea of love and chivalry flourished, and by the 15th century, Valentine's Day had transformed into a celebration of affection between lovers. And it didn't stop there. As we move forward in time, we see how the traditions evolved, giving rise to one of the biggest commercial holidays of the modern age. But before we get there, let's uncover some more surprising facts. Fact 4. The first ever Valentine's Day card. While exchanging love letters became popular in medieval times, the very first known Valentine's Day card dates back to the early 15th century. It was written by Charles, Duke of Orléans, while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London after being captured during the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. In his letter to his wife, he expressed his deep love and longing, referring to her as his Valentine. This heartfelt letter still exists today and is preserved in the British Library. Over time, the tradition of exchanging Valentine's Day cards spread across Europe. By the 18th century, people were sending handwritten notes and poems to their loved ones. But things took a massive turn in the 19th century with the advent of mass-produced Valentine's Day cards, thanks to advances in printing technology. Today, Valentine's Day cards are a massive industry, with millions of cards exchanged every year. But did you know that in some places, Valentine's Day isn't just for romantic love? Let's move on to our next fact. Fact 5. Valentine's Day is not just for lovers. While many of us associate Valentine's Day with romantic love, in some countries, it's a day to celebrate all kinds of relationships. In Finland, for example, February 14th is called Ystävänpäivä, which translates to Friends' Day. Instead of focusing only on romance, people celebrate friendships by exchanging cards and small gifts with their best friends, coworkers, and even neighbors. Similarly, in Mexico, Valentine's Day is known as El Día del Amor y la Amistad, the day of love and friendship. It's a day where people not only show love to their partners but also to their friends and family members. This broader approach to Valentine's Day highlights the true essence of the holiday, spreading love and appreciation to all the important people in our lives, not just our romantic partners. Fact 6. The rise of Valentine's Day chocolate. One of the most beloved traditions of Valentine's Day is the giving of chocolates. But how did this tradition begin? The connection between love and chocolate dates back to the Aztecs, who believed cacao was a divine gift from the gods and had aphrodisiac properties. However, it was in the Victorian era that chocolate became a staple of Valentine's Day celebrations. In 1861, Richard Cadbury, of the famous Cadbury Chocolate Company, revolutionized Valentine's Day gifts by creating the first ever heart-shaped box of chocolates. The beautifully decorated boxes not only contained delicious chocolates but were also kept as treasured keepsakes. This marketing genius set the stage for what would become one of the most profitable aspects of Valentine's Day. Today, chocolate sales during Valentine's season exceed billions of dollars, proving that love truly does have a sweet tooth. Fact 7. The origins of red roses as a love symbol. Red roses have become the ultimate symbol of love and passion, but have you ever wondered why? This tradition goes back thousands of years to ancient Greek and Roman mythology. The red rose was closely associated with Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, and Venus, her Roman counterpart. According to legend, Aphrodite's lover, Adonis, was mortally wounded by a wild boar, and as she ran to his side, her tears mixed with his blood, creating the first red roses. The association between red roses and love was further cemented during the Victorian era, a time when people used flowers to communicate messages. This was called florography. Different flowers held different meanings, and red roses symbolized deep love and romantic passion. Today, millions of roses are sold every year for Valentine's Day, making it one of the most profitable flower-giving holidays in the world. Fact 8. The meaning behind Cupid, the cherubic archer. No Valentine's Day imagery is complete without Cupid, the mischievous little cherub armed with a bow and arrow. But did you know that Cupid's origins go all the way back to ancient mythology? Cupid is based on the Roman god of love, who was inspired by the Greek god Eros. Unlike the chubby childlike figure we see today, Eros was originally depicted as a handsome and powerful deity who could control the emotions of both gods and mortals. Over time, especially during the Renaissance, Cupid was reimagined as the playful, winged cherub we know today. His arrows were said to make people fall deeply in love, and his presence on Valentine's Day reinforces the theme of sudden, passionate romance. But remember, Cupid wasn't always so innocent. Some myths say he could also strike people with arrows that caused them to fall out of love. Ouch. Fact 9. How Valentine's Day became a billion-dollar industry. While Valentine's Day has ancient roots, its transformation into a commercial juggernaut is a modern phenomenon. In the 19th century, mass production of Valentine's Day cards became a big business. Then, in the early 20th century, companies like Hallmark capitalized on the growing trend, turning Valentine's Day into one of the biggest card-giving holidays of the year. But it doesn't stop at cards. Today, Valentine's Day is a multi-billion-dollar industry. From flowers to chocolates, jewelry to romantic getaways, people around the world spend billions every year to show their affection. The holiday has expanded beyond couples, with gifts now exchanged between friends, family members, and even pets. That's right, pet owners spend millions every year on Valentine's Day gifts for their furry companions. Fact 10. The evolution of Valentine's Day gifts. While chocolates, flowers, and jewelry dominate today's Valentine's Day gift market, gift-giving traditions have changed significantly over time. In the Middle Ages, lovers often exchanged handwritten love notes or sang romantic ballads for one another. By the 18th century, lace-trimmed cards and poetry had become popular gifts. One of the biggest shifts happened in the 20th century when jewelry companies began marketing diamonds as the ultimate symbol of love. The famous slogan, "A diamond is forever," by De Beers solidified the idea that engagement rings should feature diamonds. Today, people spend millions on engagement rings and other extravagant gifts around Valentine's Day, showing how much the holiday has evolved. Fact number 11. The Valentine's Day curse. In some cultures, while many people embrace Valentine's Day, in some cultures, it has been met with strong resistance. In certain countries, celebrating Valentine's Day is banned, as it is seen as a Western influence conflicting with traditional customs and beliefs. For example, in some parts of the Middle East and Asia, public celebrations of Valentine's Day have been restricted, and even shops selling Valentine's-themed items have faced crackdowns. Despite this, many young people in these regions continue to find ways to celebrate love, often through secret gifts or private gatherings. Fact 12. The most popular Valentine's Day traditions around the world. Different cultures celebrate Valentine's Day in unique ways. In South Korea, for example, February 14th is when women give chocolates to men, but a month later, on March 14th, called White Day, men return the favor with gifts. And if someone remains single through both holidays, they observe Black Day on April 14th, where singles gather to eat black bean noodles and commiserate over their lack of a partner. In Japan, similar traditions exist, with women giving Jiri Choco, obligatory chocolate, to male colleagues and Hanmei Choco, true love chocolate, to their romantic interest. Meanwhile, in Denmark, men send anonymous rhyming love notes called Gækkebrev, and if the recipient correctly guesses who sent it, they receive an Easter egg later in the year. Fact 13. The rise of anti-Valentine's Day movements. Not everyone is a fan of Valentine's Day, and in recent years, there has been a rise in anti-Valentine's Day movements. Some people see the holiday as overly commercialized, while others simply don't like the pressure it places on relationships. Events like Singles Awareness Day, SAD, have emerged as a way for single individuals to celebrate self-love and independence instead. Meanwhile, Galantini's Day, popularized by the TV show Parks and Recreation, has become a day for women to celebrate friendship instead of romance. Fact 14. The science behind love and Valentine's Day. Did you know that the feelings associated with falling in love can be scientifically explained? Studies show that when we fall in love, our brains release a cocktail of chemicals, including dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These chemicals create feelings of euphoria, bonding, and happiness, essentially giving us a natural high. Valentine's Day, with its emphasis on love and affection, stimulates these emotions, making people more likely to feel romantic. Neuroscientists believe that love functions similarly to an addiction, which explains why we feel so intensely drawn to those we love. This also highlights why Valentine's Day can evoke such strong emotions, both positive and negative. And there you have it, the top 14 facts about Valentine's Day. From its dark and mysterious origins to its modern-day commercial success, Valentine's Day is so much more than just a holiday for couples. It's a celebration of love in all its forms, from romance to friendship to self-care. If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Echoes of the Reality for more deep dives into history and culture. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.